Hello ladies, thank you for tuning in. This video is all about the Luxe experience in person, and I thought to kind of share my ideas and my viewpoints with different boutiques. And it was mainly inspired by the fact that I had like a really luxurious expectation going shopping today, and I didn't really reach that, which was quite a disappointment because when you're working and when you have a certain item in mind, you don't just want to order it online. And so going in person, especially after the pandemic, I thought this is the whole experience. I thought half of the experience of buying an item, especially a luxury item, is the catering, the customer service, the options you get to see, the sensory kind of journey you go through with walking in and feeling and smelling. But I realized, at least this far into my adulthood, I'm Gen Z, born in 2000, things are not how I expected it. Whether it's media that has kind of augmented my expectations, or advertising with all sorts of lovely commercials and marketing projects, things are not quite there. But I don't believe this is everywhere. I do believe certain areas might be hyped up for their location, kind of Instagram, how Instagrammable it is, or certain kind of associations with a boutique. And I think it's about time that we find out where we can get the best service without being let down. So let's go to the unboxing. So ultimately, this purchase to me was quite personal because I love stationery. I remember as a kid, I used to go crazy over these fine pens that my dad used to use, and all sorts of notebooks and even badges to add to my kind of school bag game, if you will. So when I saw this online, I thought it was gorgeous because the Jolie, if I'm saying that correctly, it's such a pretty print, and I think it's really a testament to Dior's kind of intricacy and history. And I thought, you know what, let me head over, see where it's available, and buy it in person. And who knows, I might buy other things because I do have a few birthdays coming up, and I have just a really good feeling about 2022 in the spring season. Granted, it's not starting very well, but to my demise, it wasn't what I wanted at all. So I'm going to be rating all my Luxe X episodes in 5 different segments. Number 1, customer service. This is all the way from the beginning in terms of the entrance, all the way to the end. Every interaction you have with a person that's working there. You know, I feel like, especially being Arab, North African, service is just integral to everything we do. And it's quite a sensitive part of living. And I think no matter where you are, service is service. And so that will be a big part of my rating. Number 2, atmosphere. So this is kind of the vibe you get where you are. And so how is it that you feel as a person to be expressive, to actually say what you want to say, critique what you want to critique, buy what you want to buy? And it's a huge kind of mental experience. and that's really important. 3, packaging and kind of the last steps of a purchase. So this is kind of the awkward part when you're, at least for me, when you're making a purchase. It's what card are you using, this, that and the other, as well as kind of the closing of a purchase. And so I think this is a huge part and definitely important to the vetting as well. Number 4, it's the area. So a boutique might be great, but is the area worth the journey? What is it like from walking up the high street or the road all the way to leaving it and what you're going to do next? Location is key, and retailers know that. And lastly, 5 would be any extras. What was unique and what would make you come back again? So let's start. So the first thing in terms of customer experience was that when I walked in, the door was open for me, which was really lovely. And in terms of who opens the doors and who's in between stairs and rooms, they have security, which is great, and they're not intimidating. They're actually really nice. And then it's a very open space. I'll try to attach some pictures. I felt really awkward taking videos in there. And you have a few, for me, I had a few sales assistants that were free, others that weren't. And instantly I got really awkward looks, which didn't make me feel too comfortable, to be quite honest. I then went to the middle section where there's stairs and there's a perfume section, which I was actually in the market for, and I asked the perfume specialist some questions. She was lovely. It wasn't like amazing in terms of the conversations we were having. I had to ask her quite a lot of things when usually they should be asking, and I know this because I've worked in customer service before. But yeah, I didn't end up buying anything from her, but I did take some samples in terms of fragrance paper. It wasn't actual samples of actual fragrance, which I wonder if I should ask in the future. But then right adjacent to that is the home section, which is where I assume would be the stationery, and there was no one there, which I found quite strange, especially in a store that's in central London. But yeah, I just tried to find what I wanted, but I couldn't. So it wasn't too great, and I had to go back to the fragrance lady to tell her, hey, I'm looking for a notebook, and where is it? So that was a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. Overall, I would give New Bond Street Dior Boutique a 2 out of 5, mainly because when I did initiate conversation with the SAs, it was decent. However, the 3 stars that are missing is mainly what I would expect from them without action from me. Now for the atmosphere. To be quite honest, the majority of the atmosphere came from the decor, the architecture. I wouldn't say it came from the setup. The setup was very empty in the middle, and everything is on the edges and on the walls basically. And I didn't get this feeling of Dior, which is luxury French, yet it's evolving and it's in trend, and they have such cool trainers and cool bags. So where's the edge? Like, Dior has its classic blazers and skirts, but where's the edge? Where's the fun? I just felt like it was very old lady-like or middle-aged, serious, boring vibes, which is why maybe I wasn't approached for that reason, or why I just didn't vibe with it. It didn't mesh well. And also from the sales assistant side, I have 2 theories. Either they're underpaid and really fed up with the demand and the expectations of people that come, or they truly are boring and unentertaining, not exhilarating or thrilling for a luxury house. And I need to figure out which one it is, because it says a lot really about the entire brand, because I don't see myself ordering Dior products online unless it's urgent or I just need it because it's gonna sell out. I am not spending that kind of money to just click on PayPal and then that's it, wait for the postman to arrive. No way. So that's the overall atmosphere, and I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Number 2 is location. So me being from outside of London, just a little bit north, going into New or Old Bond Street was not too bad, I'd say. Even though I planned my route, London's London and you just always end up walking more than you'd expect, which was a bit of a shame because my shoes did start killing me by the end of it. But essentially Bond Street is one huge street, split into Old Bond Street and New Bond Street, and it's just full of all the big brands, big names that you can think of. The Dior Boutique was quite lovely. It was white and kind of had its own section, but what was awkward about it was there was almost a mini queue of people lining outside to take a picture with the brand, and I just felt really weird. And what took me by surprise is that the security guards are there and like there's glass doors, you can see these people doing this, but it's okay. Like for luxury, to me that's a bit tacky, and so that was like I literally had to walk around them. In terms of the other stores that are there, you have your Cartier, you have your Tory Burch, Louis Vuitton, like all these other ones, which is great. But what I don't like, and I find it very strange, is that their closing times were 6 p.m. And like I said, when you're in London, taking a 7-minute walk is not 7 minutes. Like when it says on your phone, this will take you 7 minutes to get there, it really isn't. So for me, 6 p.m. is a bit too early. And what was weird was when I went to try to go to Cartier, before that there was a queue outside and I was queuing for around 5 minutes, so I got lucky. And then this essay came out saying we're going to be closing soon and we have clients inside that still haven't been served, so I would recommend you guys go to Selfridges or Harrods. And so I just think this is when opening times really matters, and on a Saturday 6 p.m. is too early, just in my opinion. In terms of food, I'd say there's not a lot of cafes. I saw one and it was weird, it was like attached to Ralph Lauren, but nothing like, oh, it's a vibe. Like I love Kensington High Street, for example, where you have food shop. It's not really a vibe, it's like in your face, kind of just shop till you drop type vibe. And to me, it's a shame because the architecture in that area is so nice, but is it comfortable and is it chilled in a luxurious way? I wouldn't really say so. So for location, I would give Bond Street a 3.5 out of 5. I'd say I start to have some exploring and kind of get to know the area. And hopefully I'll do different reviews for different stores and maybe my opinion might change. So for the extras, I must say it was really lovely visiting Fortman & Masons, which is the box over here, and that will be my next review of luxury boutiques and stores. It wasn't much of a walk, and I believe Piccadilly Circus is in the direction of it. To my knowledge of the area, not that I did this today, but to my knowledge of the area, there are some really nice restaurants, but it's still a bit of a walk. One of them, I believe it's called Mayfair, and it's a shisha lounge as well as a restaurant. It's really nice site-wise, it's really nice. You go past the Ritz-Carlton, and there's loads of tube stations near. An extra as well today was that there were quite a few animal rights activists. I'm not sure which group or organization they belong to, but what was kind of indicative of that street is that it's targeted for such things. So I wasn't prepared for that, and it just so happened to be that animal rights group were quite aggressive. So this lady was standing right in front of Louis Vuitton with a microphone and using really aggressive language, not only targeted to the brands but also to the people in the street, which I found to be quite rude, because ultimately where I stand as a Muslim is that I can indulge in animal products such as leather for clothing and accessories, but of course the way that is done has to be humane. And so for me, I don't believe in animal cruelty, but I do also purchase animal products in an ethical way, and there is such a thing. So yeah, I just found it really awkward, because there were a few ladies I saw with lovely fur coats, and the lady was like, and some of you here have blood on your shoulders, and it's like, how do you know that? So yeah, definitely a target, just from my experience today, for some kind of activism there. And I'm all for free speech, but it's something to take into consideration when you're shopping. So that's it, ladies. I really hope you enjoyed this series. I do believe that there are these amazing brands and these amazing collections that get released every year, but where to enjoy those collections matter, and it's not online. And I'm on a mission to find the best places in person and to be able to indulge with all your senses and all your time, really. So if you'd like to see more and have any certain brands in mind, please let me know. Otherwise, have a lovely evening wherever you are.